As we have seen in throughout this video, the science, the spiritualities both tells us that if you understand our own vibration, if you understand the frequency of vibration in our body, if you can feel the frequency of vibration in our mind, we can, if you are able to manage it, that is the skill which will help us to access our deeper being, and that is the skill which will help us to access our consciousness, and that is the skill which will allow us to connect to the divine matrix of the universe. Hello and welcome to the mindfulness.com, where we explore the ancient guided spiritual practices, wisdom and science of mindfulness through spiritual scriptures. Today we are going to see one of the most important skill in the spiritual science, to feel the frequency of vibration of the self. And if you compare the wisdom of the frequency of vibration, the feeling our own frequency of vibration, and our ability to manage that frequency, that wisdom can be seen in every spiritual traditions. And if you compare that with science, you will know that understanding the frequency of vibration of the being is our fundamental ability to modulate our own existence. So I will explain to you how. So if you just look into the modern science, we study everything of our being, like our heartbeat, our breath, our brain, everything we study through how it emits the frequency of a vibration. Our heartbeat is studied through ECG. It's just nothing but our heart emitting a frequency of vibration in it. And our blood and even our brain. So when our brain is studied, it is actually through technology called EEG, where it's called electroencephalography, where we study the frequency emitted, the frequency of vibration emitted by our brain. So if you look into the spiritual science and the ancient wisdom, in spirituality also, in every tradition, it tells us that if you understand how to feel your own frequency of the vibration in your whole being, in your body, in your mind and your consciousness, you will be able to modulate, you will be able to manifest a very spiritual well-being. So let me compare the wisdom of managing our own vibration in the ancient wisdom and the ancient Egypt, and how, if we understand the science of this ancient wisdom, it may unlock to us the lost wisdom of accessing our consciousness. So in my research to understand the Quran, its original spiritual wisdom, I stumbled upon the similarity of many words between the Quran and the Book of Dead of the ancient Egypt. So in the Quran, the vibration, the movement of up and down is called an-nas. And if you look into modern lexicons, Arabic English lexicons, we can see that the root meaning of noon was it is to move to and fro. It was a state of commotion and move to and fro. So in the lexicon it is very clear that an-nas means the movement, the to and fro movement. In the modern term, we say the to and fro movement as vibration. The same meaning can be ascertained from the ancient Egyptian literature. If you check for the word meaning of when in the ancient Egyptian dictionary, it also have the same meaning: sway, to and fro, to move about. So the symbol of water, the spelling N in ancient Egypt is denoting the vibration, the to and fro vibration. And even the ancient word wow actually is a word, the English meaning wave. So the whole spiritual literature is talking about how, if we are able to manage our spiritual vibration in our being, we will be able to manage everything, even our consciousness and our existence. Albert Einstein quoted that everything in the universe is a vibration. The galaxies, the planet, even the bacteria, so all are actually vibrating in their own frequency. And as I said earlier, our heart, our brain, our breathing, everything is an emission of vibration. So in ancient spiritual wisdom, they understood that if we are able to modulate these vibrations, if we are able to bring into coherence the vibration emitted by your heart, the vibration emitted by your brain, the vibration emitted by your breath, when you have the coherence in every vibration that you emit, and when you become a rhythm with the existence, that is what is called in the Quran, it's called Dheen. And the whole message of the Quran is to achieve the coherence in our existence. And that is the similar message in the literature of ancient Egypt. And if you look into science, the modern neuroscience, the science of wellness also says that if you achieve heart rate variability in coherence with your brain waves, that is the most well-being state, where you achieve, where you experience pleasant and peacefulness. So in neuroscience also we study the brain waves, and the science now knows that the beta waves, the alpha waves, the delta waves, the theta wave and gamma waves that produced in the brain represent different state of being in our mind. And there is immense depth of wisdom in the spiritual scriptures like Quran and the Book of Enlightenment in Egypt. From my own research, that what I have understood is they have thousands of years of documented evidence and science of subjective experience. And if you can compare, if you can bring that wisdom into the modern science, and if we link both the ancient wisdom and modern science, I strongly believe that we will be able to unlock the lost wisdom of consciousness. My intention is to bridge the gap between the modern science and ancient wisdom. So I strongly believe the ancient spiritual scriptures like the Book of Dead or Book of Enlightenment of the ancient Egypt and the Quran and all other spiritual books are thousands of years of documentation of subjective experience. And in that there is a lot of data, a lot of wisdom which we can understand about our own subjective experience like consciousness, our ability to preserve our attention, how to awaken our attention, how to bring stillness into the mind, how to enhance our feeling. So it's all I will in later videos I'll be explaining the comparison between different brain waves and different states of being and how it is mentioned in the spiritual scriptures. So my intention is to study the spiritual scriptures as a science of consciousness, and to bring the lost wisdom of ancient wisdom of Quran and the ancient wisdom of Egypt and bring changes to the world which we really require. As we have seen in throughout this video, the science, the spiritualities both tells us that if you understand our own vibration, if you understand the frequency of vibration in our body, if you can feel the frequency of vibration in our mind, we can, if you are able to manage it, that is the skill which will help us to access our deeper being, and that is the skill which will help us to access our consciousness, and that is the skill which will allow us to connect to the divine matrix of the universe, through which we can be one with the universe. So this is a science which will unlock our understanding to our origin, our source. So in later videos we will be discussing and practicing the skill on how to do it. So if you want to learn more about the spiritual wisdom and the comparison between the Quran and the Book of Dead of the ancient Egypt, so please visit the website themindfulness.com to look into the guided practices, where I publish regularly about the spiritual practices and science about mindfulness, which I understand from my own research. Thank you very much for listening, and peace and well-being be on you all.